So there you get the gist of Omega Supreme's kind of existence, his motivations, his past, what brought him to being Omega Supreme as the Autobots currently saw him in that cartoon. So I only knew one kid when I was little who had the Omega Supreme toy. He wasn't a good friend of mine. Actually, I found him quite annoying at times, although I did like him he was one of those kids that just, like, you love him, hate him sort of thing. And I was only ever over at his house once, and I remember he had Omega Supreme, and I was like, what the fuck, right? Because Omega Supreme was obviously, being a bigger character, he was a bigger G1 toy. And he was also motorized too. The tank part was motorized, so like there was a lot of stuff going on with that toy, and it was a toy that kids who loved Transformers back in the day always really wanted, but few ever got. So let's have a look at his G1 toy right now so you get a sense of what I'm talking about. There's Omega Supreme in his G1 form. I think they could have done a better job. He was kind of simplistic. I thought a little more detail or something could have gone into him, but still, he was a very awesome toy for back in the day. And you can see the scale of how big he was compared to the OG G1 Optimus Prime. So he was a fair amount bigger. Now, I don't think they were too concerned about scale back then, about keeping everything right, but because I think he should have been even bigger than that. But you know, things back then weren't as detail oriented and you know, continuity, that sort of thing as they are now. There's a lot more accountability behind things now, whereas back in the day, not so much. So, but still an awesome G1 toy. But this thing is it's gonna put that to shame. So let's get Omega out of his box and check him out. So Omega, and you'll see, as with Scorponok last week, this is a Takara Tomy / Hasbro toy. So the same, one of those, based on one of those Netflix shows. This one's War for Cybertron Siege. So the one last week was the other one, Earthrise or whatever, I think. Uh-oh, he's missing a part. Thought I heard something rattling around in here. Hopefully it's in here, but I brought my scissors, and hopefully I can get this guy out of the box faster than I got Scorponok last week. Because that took me a while. I was unprepared for how much shit, how many straps and everything was holding that character down. So, oh, there's another one. And I brought my better scissors this week. Crappy ones, I can't even find them anyways. But that's good because they're crap. Okay. So, haha, Omega Supreme indeed. So there he is. I'm not sure if he fits in the frame or not. Oh, he's got something attached to the... Is there anything in there? Nope, just packaging. So, that's him right there. Yeah, there, his head. He has this little guy who was missing an arm, but it just came off and it is still in the box. So that's no big deal. This little guy here. Put his arm back on. I'm not sure what his deal is. We'll find out. He's also got some blast effect things, as these series of robots all tend to have. So there's that. Another set here. These two. That was rubbish. Is there anything in here? Negatory. He's got one more. I think must be the tracks that are in here. Let's see. yeah, so his tracks for the base. Looks like there's two together in one thing there. Ah, they fold out like that, yeah. So there's tracks. Here's the other ones. Yeah, so we will, geez, so much work. Oh, and of course, the instructions. Yeah, I hadn't realized I hadn't seen those yet. And this one doesn't have the decoder thing, so it must only be the Earthrise series for whatever reason. So there he is. Of course, that's not him. Those usually go on his shoulders and stuff, so that's not him fully Omega Supreme, but I will get him fully decked out, take some photos, and then transform him into his base mode so you can see that as well. And then after we get him transformed and whatnot, we will wrap this up. Hooey doggy once again. Look at the size of this guy. He's amazing. I think he's pretty much the same size as Scorponok. But as you could see through the time lapse, hopefully, his transformation, like he comes, because he has so many different components that are unattached, a lot of him comes apart. Like this whole back unit comes off to form the rocket, and then his front core comes out to form the tank, and then what remains forms the base. So lots of cool stuff to his transformation, and very easy despite all of that kind of weirdness, right? He's got some other little features, like these can pop up. You saw them come up in the base, but you can also use them in robot mode, right? Like it's like, okay, release the Kraken with all these warheads, right? So it's got that. Also, you can see this little guy, his little aide, whatever his name is, had lots of little places to hide. Inside the tank in vehicle mode, inside the rocket in robot mode, and then also inside his leg in the base. So you can actually, these just open up, so I think I might just store him in here from now on. So some little cool little features like that. So yeah, he's such a unique robot with his grappling hand and then his blaster hand. Omega Supreme is such an instantly and his weird face with the blaster on the back of his head, and the tracks of course come off like in how they stick up the back like that. He's such a unique character and so instantly recognizable that this is one that's going to be like kind of a centerpiece of my collection, and I'm very happy with him. I was really surprised at how happy I was with Scorponok last week. I'm as equally happy with Omega as I was with Scorponok, but I'm not surprised because I kind of knew this guy was going to be awesome, and he did not disappoint. So stay tuned. Next week, same time, same place. Next week, I'm going to have the last of my monster Titan-sized 2-footers. I'm not going to give you much. I'm not going to give you any hints because there's only so many left that it can be. So you may already have some good odds on figuring out which one it is or guessing which one it is. So until then, happy waiting.